Hey everybody, it's 100 degrees outside and we're all starting to wilt. It's the midday sun. You know, we're out here in our gardens and as you can see, you're walking in your garden and some of the plants are happy. Sagebrush, completely happy. No sign of wilting. The mallow, it's already done flowering. Its leaves, it has little hairy leaves. And the leaves are smaller, so it's not doing too bad. But what happens is as you get to a slightly bigger leaf, the bigger the leaf and the less hairs or wax on the leaf, then the more it's declined to wilt. It's a lot like your arms. Your arms have hair on them and they can buffer the heat and the temperature. There's holes or pores in your arm that causes you to sweat, so you release water. Well, that same thing is happening in the plant. We just give it a fancy name called transpiration. So it's happening the bigger the leaf and no hairs, nothing to protect it. It's losing a lot of water. So now with this extreme heat and even the wind, these plants are starting to wilt. These are native plants. Just because a plant is native doesn't mean they all live in the desert. This is a Rocky Mountain plant, a little higher elevation, so a little cooler. But if we go back to the sagebrush, if you look at the sagebrush and you look at it underneath a microscope, it's got all these thick hairs. It's like wearing a wool blanket. Well, yesterday I put on a sweater and climbed the butte. So I was trying to be like a sagebrush. Only I made my sweater wet and then it cooled me off as I went. So we have lots of plants here that are really adapted, but not everything. I try to grow vegetables too. Let's look at the chokecherry. The chokecherry, I mean, this is the local tree, and it has pretty big leaves and it's not wilting. Now it did get some water from my neighbor, thank you Nick. And it's getting ready to fruit, but it's not having, it's got a pretty extensive root system. A lot of times we think, why does it take a plant so long to grow? Well, if you have an extensive root system, then when we get drought, those roots can penetrate deep into the soil and they can harvest more moisture from deep below. So what are we going to do about our yard where the plants are starting to wilt? Oh, we could do something kind of fun. We could cover it with our linens. You could bring out your favorite linens and your nice decor, and you can cover your plants. All right, so we jerry-rig things. We take our linens, we rig them up with whatever we have because we're kind of desperate. Not only are we hot, but the plants are hot. We've invested a lot of money in our plants, and so we're really struggling. You can just take some simple fencing, and you can clip it to the size that you need, and you can fold it over. And you want to fold it over so that your plants have some room. Let's say you've got wilting strawberries. You just want to make sure you're giving them some growth if you've got flowers that are going to come up. And so sometimes I'll kind of fold in the fencing a little bit more. And somebody asked me this morning if we could use that frost cloth. Well, frost cloth is designed to increase the temperature, and that we don't really want to increase the temperature. I don't know about you, but if somebody said, do you want to go 105? I'd say, no thank you. But this is just a simple product you can get at the hardware store. I was at Ace this morning, thank you Ace. Okay, and then you can cover your plant. And you don't even really need to stake it down. But what's happening is, now I'm reducing the sunlight, I'm reducing the heat. Even if I water this and get it wet, then I'm also creating a cooler temperature. So it's really nice. Let me show you the bigger ones I made. I made these yesterday, and the strawberries were really struggling. But just this morning you can see that they're doing fine. They're doing just fine. As a matter of fact, I think I see a strawberry. Hold on. It's not a big one, but it's the first. It's good to know you can get your first strawberry. You know, in Central Oregon, it's a challenge to get any kind of food here, so. Anyway, just wanted to share with you our little tips for trying to keep your plants from wilting. We really like the burlap. Do not plant any plants right now if you can help it, because they go through transplant shock anyway, and your whole place will look like burlap. And keep in mind too that these plants that are adapted to the desert, the native desert plants, that's what we're going to want to shoot for. In the future, we're going to get hotter and drier. And this is a native buckwheat. Got extensive root systems. And rabbit brush, it's a diehard. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. And we got Brittany here to share the story. Give us a call, and in about a month we'll call you back because we're pretty slammed. Bye.